Okay, so to my rapid fire questions. So these are just sports questions, like pretty simple, but they usually turn into a little bit of a conversation anyway. So I'll start with, who is your favorite football player?
Right
of all
now?
time. Of all time.
All time, I'm gonna have to go with Michael Vick.
Okay.
Michael Vick, because that was the era when I really started learning how to play Madden good. Was 04.
Right.
Where I thought I knew how to play Madden good. Where I was playing it, but even if I wasn't playing it good. So 04, and then that's when the commercial came out, the Madden or the Vick video game commercial, where it put you in the seat or the ride.
Yeah.
So then the Nike commercial came out where it was like, this dude is undefeated, and then literally we'll be outside, everybody wanted to be a quarterback and nobody threw the ball. Where it was like that
ran,
was, you know what I'm saying? So everybody wanted to be Vick, everybody wanted to just, be fast and do that and play that way. So for me, Vick was like my AI of football. So AI is my dude basketball wise, and then Vick was my AI of football, just because when you go pound for pound, not too many players really messing with Vick when it comes to football wise, and when you think of athlete wise too. And then I look at the same thing with AI, pound for pound, not too many people really messing with. You add in another conversation, you say without a championship, then you go, he's up there in terms of quarterbacks without one for sure. We know he had a little absence for a little bit, but even as an Eagles fan, that was like the greatest thing that happened was, Mike coming to the Eagles, and my fandom turned up like 10 times after that. And then we got him with a few more good years left in him, so it was really exciting to see. And then I watched him in college too. So growing up, one of my favorite players was Kevin Jones. He played at Virginia Tech. He played at Virginia Tech with Michael Vick. So I used to watch Kevin Jones run from this side of the field to this side of the field to this side of the field. And then I used to watch Michael Vick do the same thing, make it look like it was easy. And I think Tech was like #1 that year. Like they were balling out that year. So I literally was a fan seeing him do circus stuff in college. So then it turned up once he got to the NFL, and it was like, for me, that was my Jordan, that was my AI. So I was going with Vick.
And that's real. That was gonna be my next question. Who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
Oh yeah.
So it's AI or both?
AI.
No, so AI. I mean pound for pound, like you said. And I think AI was so. AI is probably to me a top 3 influential NBA player
when we talk
of all
about
time.
even when you talk about student athletes and mental health.
Yeah.
Most of the time, AI got crap for the things he said. He was going through stuff that nobody knew. When his friends died, and he talked about practice, and and we laughed at him and joked at him and talked about him for saying that. Where it's like, yo, you talking about practice when I got to deal with this after this.
Right.
When the lights go off, when I got to go home, I still got to deal with this, and this is the situation. But for me, it was like, man, he would do stuff where I'm like, man, you playing with, that's my team, so you already know what I can say. But you playing with some, man, you playing with, oh man, you playing with some bums, having to really do his thing. And Mutombo was my dude. And Mutombo held his own. Eric Snow. Man, Eric Snow. See, I get mad all the time. So even when we went to LA and won that first game in the championship, that was crazy. So that was like one of my greatest Sixers sports moment. So that's why I was like, yo, this is the year. I tweeted out a couple years ago, 2020, the Sixers gonna win the championship. So if that happens, I'm gonna find that tweet to really solidify that. But yeah, definitely AI. Didn't get the championship with us, and I already knew once it was happening. Then once he left, he played with all the teams. I'm like, bro, I can't look at this no more. It was hard to see. But yeah, that's my dude. I pick him against anybody. For
So kind of back to football for a minute. So do you think Lamar Jackson is like, when you speak about Vick, do you see a lot of Vick in him? Do you think he's in a way the second coming of Vick?
I feel like just because I feel like he's a mix of both AI and Vick. Just because I don't know if you follow him on social media, he being himself. Like he's a Florida boy. Like he the things he says, the things he speak about, and how he moves and stuff like that, I really mess with it because he's genuine. He's trying to be nobody he's not. And for me, obviously that was the same way AI was. Right. And that was before, obviously, the NBA limited what you really could do on the sideline, but chains and the long tees and stuff like that. But I think Lamar is definitely the second coming. And then the following that's going to come from this, and obviously we already see how he changed the game last year. Yeah. And you already know what happens in the NFL. You see it happen 4 year team gets away with doing it by themselves without nobody really copying. And then now you're going to start seeing more and more players molded like that, or kind of given more opportunities like that anyway, based off his success. So for me, I drafted Lamar in the 5th round last year, my fantasy league. They left him on there. I'm like, 5th round, I'm gonna have to go with it. He's gonna definitely, obviously you're starting this year, going into it, and he ended up balling out for me. So for me, once that happened, and I started having to follow him week by week on my fantasy team, for me, I felt similar ways to like, I know some kid looking at this like going crazy watching him play, and that was the same way I was looking at Vick. So I was like, I already know the impact that he can have, and then him being from Florida and being really from Florida, you know what I mean? So, and then seeing how he's leading that and doing his thing. And I already know, like, once you get the publicity from the Madden cover, and you're the face of the program, the face of the franchise, almost the face of the NFL. We know Patrick Mahomes is
them two though. Honestly, they right there.
Right there, and I think like Kyler Murray. I mean, black quarterback right now, and I'm just saying that because obviously the talent of the black quarterback right now is probably, for me as a Madden player, is one of the highest it's been, because you can play with several different guys and things like that. But just in general, the talent level is. There's a lot of good dudes out there right now.
Next question: what is your favorite sports movie of all time?
Man, favorite sports movie? I would probably say Any Given Sunday. No, it's not. Obviously, I don't know. Is it not based on a true story?
I don't think so.
It's not. But Any Given Sunday, because I remember watching that movie being so young, not really knowing what the heck was going on, and then rewatching it as I got a little older. I've been watching it in probably the last 10 years. Rewatching it, like, man, I had no idea what I was looking at. I was just looking at people do crazy things on the football field, and that was it. And then you realize what else is happening. But just sport-related movie in terms of like nostalgia and just going back to a time, I would have to say like Any Given Sunday for sure. And then Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J.
Yeah, man.
I can't say too much about the acting, but it was still memory-wise, it still serves as a good memory.
For sure. And so you mentioned already what might be one of like your like that game one when y'all went to LA, and one being your favorite Sixers sports moment. But what would you say is just in general like your favorite sports moment of all time?
Man, I would probably have to say when the first semester I got to ULM football season, we played number 8 Arkansas. You know how the first game of the season goes. You invite whoever you finna go beat up on that first game in Little Rock, but we ended up beating the number 8 team in the country. And literally, I've never seen a campus light up like ULM lit up that night. From the time that the players were on their way back to the time they got there till 3-4 a.m., people just celebrating like we won the Super Bowl. Like literally, it was like that in that moment. And then the next week, RG3 came down from Baylor.
Wow.
So we got to play RG3 that year. And it was literally like we beat Arkansas number 8 team, and then we played RG3, and then we almost beat Baylor. So the energy from that time being on campus was crazy. So that was one of the biggest reasons I was really excited to see what some SEC football was like, because in that moment we got to feel what the energy of sports in that moment would feel like. So for me, matching that energy is really hard. It was either this or 2008 when the Phillies won the World Series, because we snuck out of school to go to the parade, which was insane. I think that was my junior year of high school or something like that. Which was one of the craziest moments. But those are the moments where you can't miss. And I told my mom, I actually said no. I was like, I can't miss this moment. But definitely, probably that though, the upset.
Okay, for sure, most definitely.